Here we are, Herlighters. We're talking soccer. Couldn't be more excited to be talking soccer with a writer, a host, a gal about town, a friend to all, and one of the best soccer brains on the planet. From Gal Pal Sports, Lesley Ryder is with me.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
We are on the cusp, mere days away from the She Believes Cup, which is one of my favorites. And especially since there's a game being played in San Diego, and I bought tickets to that, I don't know, 7 years ago when it was announced.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm sure we have the same, sort of playbook, pardon the pun, of getting tickets. Like, it's so funny. Like, someone just texted me that they're going to be in town, and they're like, oh, we should watch a game. And they're like, I just saw UCLA, USC is playing, women's basketball. And they're like, how about that? I go, I literally bought that ticket 4 months ago. And they're like, oh yeah. I'm like, this is what I'm obsessed with. Like, it's just so classic. I'm always like, a year ahead of time trying to plot stuff. But She Believes Cup, absolutely. I can't believe we're on our 10th year. I just read that. I was like, wait, what?
It is the 10th year of finding out who she is and what is it that she believes. We're just along for the ride. It's really strange to think about it being its 10th iteration. Like, and Emily Sonnet being there for all 10 of them. Just, it seems right. And I think she just has to get called up for all of them. I don't know.
She absolutely has to. 100th.
How it works in the contract.
I don't know. This is going to be tangential. Let's just talk about Emily Sonnet heading into the She Believes Cup. 100 caps on Thursday. It's her 100th cap. And Emily Sonnet has been on a journey, I think, herself on the field, and for all of us fans. A real, I don't know, for me personally, a real roller coaster where I always had put her in the camp of team chemistry, personality, great sense of humor, like that's her role more than like on field dominance. But then in the last 2 years, I'm like, well, hello, Emily Sonnet on the field. I don't know.
She's definitely like a glue guy who you want to keep around and is great for those things. But like she's also just really versatile, and the things I've picked up just from getting to watch her in person, just like, she's fast. I don't think we give her enough credit for how fast she is. Saucy Sonnet's got wheels, and I think we lose that sometimes. And it was definitely a thought I had the last time Gotham was in town to play Chicago. I was just like, damn, Sonnet, good for you.
Yeah. I didn't pick up on the speed, but I just keep going back to that World Cup 2 years ago, wherever it was now, where all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, if we had played Sonnet, if we had played the formation or the players that we played against Sweden, we possibly could have gotten out of, I don't know, the first game or whatever you want to call it.
The World Cup of 2023 that I've heard it happened. I heard it was a thing that happened. I don't think the US was there. I think as we're still close to it, it's something that you look back on, you're like, oh, the pain. But I don't know. I hope in like 10 years we look back and laugh.
Yeah, I mean, I'll never get that sleep back. Setting my alarm for like 2 a.m. for those games and then watching the games. And I was like, well, I'm spoiled. Like
I stayed up for this.
Yeah, we're so spoiled. I mean, we win the World Cup 2015, 2019. And I'm like, what? I cannot believe what happened in 2020. Like, we are so lucky. And all kinds of other stuff happened that will greatly impact, just the sport of soccer, just the whole Spain scandal. And hopefully some of the stuff will lead to, I don't know, men behaving better. Who knows? But Emily Sonnet, 100 caps. You're shaking your head. That's hard to believe.
Emily Sonnet. It's like it is an achievement, and I hope she takes immense pride in it for making it that like. I don't mean to make it sound like a backhanded comment. I feel like you should be really proud for making it that long, but like it's an achievement. Like to stick with the team and be able to be in the fold like that takes a lot of work, and I think we're seeing it in like the Emma Hayes era of like, she's trying to see what works, who can be that next batch of 100 cap players. And there's a bit of a gap right now between the people who
a huge
have those caps and people who don't. It is really like an either or right now, where
yeah.
you either have 100+ caps or you're at like 15 or less.
Yeah, I was looking. I was just writing out the roster for this camp, and we'll do some fun nerdy talk about the camp itself. But it's like 0 goals, 0 caps, and then 150 caps, 50. It really is. It's so, but I love it. I love like learning about new people, because then I can go on nerdy deep dives of like, who is Claire Hutton? Like I know my ACFC, and I know some major, I probably say your top 2 or 3 players of other teams in the NWSL, but like that's about it, until like I start watching playoffs and I'm like, oh, I think I've heard her name before, So
Yeah.
let's jump into that. Like the Tara McGowan, Giselle Thompson. Well, of course, I know Giselle for ACFC, Claire Hutton, Lilly Yohannes, Michelle Cooper. Well, Yasmin Ryan, I know. But a lot of youngsters. I mean, Claire Hutton is 19, didn't even go to college. Holy shit.
Yeah. And I think it's the thing about the U.S. Women's National Team just being so exclusive for the last 3 or 4 years is that like you haven't really seen those names go to like national prominence, but it's one of those things where it's like people who watch the Washington Spirit have been like, Tara McGowan, call her up, she's it. And yeah, I mean, it speaks to the depth of the league, where you have all of this talent that won't see another national team call up, but you do have all this young talent now that has a chance to crack that first roster, and it's really exciting. It's an exciting time.
It is really exciting. And you really like the Thompson sisters. I just, happen to live in LA, happen to be ACFC, ticket holder, and seeing Alyssa, I'll never forget her first game, comes in and then literally scores within like 30 seconds. And I was like, what, what is happening? And then they were like, oh, her sister also just signed her. I'm like, they're like 12.
By the way.
I was like, what? Like she misses like her graduation and her prom. They're doing like a fake prom last summer I was just like, I can't even, I think I said this before at some point, but I was like, yeah, discovering like Southern Comfort, at 18. And she is, on the field playing professional soccer. Yeah, listen, we all have different paths. But it's pretty incredible. Does a player to stand out that you're like most excited to see?
I think I am excited to see Claire Hutton. I think she was someone on Kansas City who was like a really crucial link to making like Temwa Chwenga have the season that she did. You still like it's good to have the Temwa Chwenga, amazing player.
Yeah.
But to have the opportunity to score goals, you need players like Claire Hutton to find those pathways to see the ball through. And I think she can be a piece for this midfield that has been struggling nonstop. I think it's been a nonstop period of what's going on with the midfield. Like, yeah. I want to say it preceded 2019, but it's something that has just been this mystery that I guess it's our like Achilles heel of, well, we got to give them something to work on. I think she could be an important piece to being like, no, this is what we're capable of, and this is how we can operate. I think Michelle Cooper is also a sneaky great forward who worked, being in Kansas City, she had those opportunities like to run with Temwa and make those plays happen. And, is a great goal scorer in her own right. There's a lot of good stuff. I'm also just intrigued by the goalie battle that we're gonna see for the next 2
who's
years
gonna step up.
who's who's number one now? Who's it going to be?
Yeah, I was writing down goalkeepers and my heart sank a little, or stomach sank, heart broke, whatever. And I was like, oh, this is the first time I haven't written down Alyssa Nair, and I got real teary-eyed. But it's funny too, because I remember, again, we've been very spoiled in goal. Our goalkeeping has been so insane. And then after, Hope Solo, who I am a huge, huge fan of, after she left, I love everything about her. I have been obsessed with her.
Did you see the documentary?
No, absolutely. No, I don't. Nobody can change my opinion of her. She's complicated. We all are.
She is complicated. Yes. She is a complicated figure.
And she did not get a fair shake from US Soccer. Listen, she did push the envelope.
She did. Yeah, I do think that the part of the complication is just like there were some things she wasn't wrong on stuff.
Yeah.
But she also carried some really, really complicated and not great baggage with her while she did it.
Yeah. I thought the documentary did shed a whole bunch of light on a very hard and complicated upbringing, and everybody is supposed to get to the national team and behave perfectly and be so well adjusted. And this speaks for everybody. I'm just saying, but there's a lot of, you're just supposed to drink a glass of Act Right and everything's perfect. And she's like, no, you know what I mean?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Hard pass on that glass of Act Right.
Yeah.
But I still, listen, I love Nair and Scurry, but if I'm taking one goalkeeper for the rest of my life,
she's your number one.
Oh my God, absolutely. Also, if you want to have a fun weekend in Vegas, Hope Solo. So, she checks all the Erin Foley boxes. But Jane Campbell and Mandy McGlynn. Now, Mandy McGlynn, I probably saw play, once or twice when we played Utah or something. But this is an absolute toss-up. I have absolutely no idea. Who's the other one that I'm forgetting?
Fallon Tullis-Joyce is also in the mix. She's a training player for this camp. Casey Murphy still in the mix.
That's who I was thinking about. Yeah.
I think from what Emma Hayes has said so far in press conferences, it is far from a done deal of a set goalkeeper depth chart. And I think I really felt that when I saw her calling Jane Campbell, because I kind of thought we're looking towards 2027. Maybe she's aged out, but still in the mix. And I mean, she is a very good goalkeeper and is one of those people that hates having the ball go by her and will just screw you, I'm on a last place team, I'm still gonna fight to have the most saves.
She's a total badass. Yeah, I love her. Always had fantastic hair too, by the way. Throughout I'm putting in
blonde.
So blonde. These are the hard-hitting journalistic facts that people hit play
so
for.
So tan. She's so blonde.
Oh, tan. We don't worry about her skin in Houston.
A little bit. I worry sometimes. I have that thought when I'm seeing her play. I'm just like, you get enough sunscreen, Jane? I'm worried about you. It's very important.
It is very important. You know how when people get angry, they throw beer on the field? I'm just going to throw sunscreen.
Yeah.
We love you, Jane. And then just start throwing sunscreen out into the field. I think that is going to be, as Erin lost her mind. But also, why isn't Casey Murphy there? I thought Casey Murphy was number one.
I think it really is just a matter of getting reps in for other players at this point. I mean, Emma Hayes has done the whole, everyone who's not in camp knows what they need to do to get back. Yeah. So it's I don't think at this point being kept out of camp is a decision of you're not cut out for this. I do think at this, especially for goalkeeping, it's just a matter of getting more reps in.
Yeah.
And I feel like when Jane Campbell, every time she's been called in, it's been against not great opponents for the US. She hasn't really gotten really competitive reps. I mean, I'm sure we can go back and find a place where I'm wrong, but at least in recent memory. I feel like
Yeah.
she hasn't really gotten a chance to play really tough opponents, and this upcoming tournament is tough opponents.
Yeah, we've got Japan, Australia, and Colombia. Colombia's 21, Australia's well, I ripped my sheet of paper pulling it out of my notebook, but I believe it says 15. And Japan is 8. I'm going to see the Japan game in San Diego. But yeah,
Ooh.
that's a great point. And also to your point, I was thinking of this when Solo left, there had been no reps
Yeah,
for
none
Nair.
reps. None
None
reps left
reps.
beef. Like it
Yeah,
was not
that's
not
what speaks so that's why Nair is like, Mount Rushmore of goalkeeping because she literally had no reps. So now as I'm saying there, where's Casey Murphy? Of course, like that makes perfect sense because the last transition for goalie, we just got
there you
very
go.
lucky. Nobody even knew Alyssa. I was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's her and the one that I think is dating Ellie Krieger. Like those were the conversations.
Yeah.
So yeah, this totally makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And
I mean
then
like Mandy's had like a pretty decent season in Utah, and I think we saw her in Louisville when the US played there in the fall, and she had a pretty decent outing. To just She was like a last minute fill in for someone, and had gone from like planning a Halloween party to getting on a plane to come to camp. And so she's like, I'm happy to be here, glad I could help.
all right, defenders. Yeah, so the ones I highlighted, we've got Davidson Dunn, Fox Sonnett, the huge Night Swanger, who I'm a huge fan of, and I just want her to I just love a left-footed left back. And then it's like she has little Rapino moments
Mm-hmm.
for, obviously not on that level yet, but or maybe never will be, but that doesn't matter. I just love her. I think she's just so fun to watch, and she's got a huge amount of potential. And we'll get to the one final question of losing a lot of stars to um other leagues. But and then Sam's, of course, but I'm wondering how much time, Giselle Thompson will get and Tara McGowan. Those are the two people I circled are youngsters. But love to see them.
Yeah, it feels like Emily Sams is definitely slotting into that um trying to get into that like top center back pairing spot with Naomi Gurma, who isn't at camp, but that's her spot.
That's her spot for the rest of her life.
We're
Yep.
Yeah, she goes there. We really are just looking for who's the best dance partner for Naomi Gurma,
Yeah.
and who can support just whatever defensive scheme they want to play. And I think I'm excited to see how Tara McKeown just fits into it. Like she's someone who played forward, and like the story of Tara is she played up front, and then at Washington they're just like, hey, you might have a better shot at getting those national team call-ups if you move to center back, and now it's happening. So I'm just kind of excited to see how all that work and manifestation, I suppose, is put into action, because it's like this is what she's been working towards, and we'll get to maybe we'll get to see her get some action, and I think she will. I do think Emma Hayes has been pretty solid on like kids are getting minutes.
Yeah. Oh, I
We got to
love it.
develop a team. No one's
Yeah.
been developing these kids, so somebody's got to do it.
She keeps saying that like every press conference, I mean,
Yeah.
you're at them. But like, the sound bites you get, she's just like, well, we've got to start develop, we've got to start developing.
They
Okay. So midfield, we'll talk about two other quick things. Haran calling her heaps and calling Lynn Williams Biandolo. Did I pronounce that right? How are we supposed to, I want them to be happy. Number one.
Mhm.
Two, if you want to change your name, I am vehemently opposed, but that's just my thing.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I just I have a very it's just my personal baggage. Women changing their names makes me irate, but that's just me. So yeah, and then also, it just the I think it's the one I had almost the hardest time was Julie Ertz. And now again, I'll get used to it because now I'm spacing really what her other name was before.
It's
But
taking over.
yeah, but it's fine. So calling her Ann Heaps and Williams Biandola is going to be interesting.
Heaps is just a funny word. I'm sorry.
Heaps is funny.
This is a funny word.
Just I'm like, okay, we got heaps of Lindsay in the midfield. I mean, it's just endless ridiculousness.
It's going to lead to some it might lead to some fun in the play-by-play, which will be interesting to listen to.
Yeah, absolutely. Very excited to see Lilly Yohannes. She is interesting. She to me looks like I don't think I've ever seen someone so calm. Like it, like I live in California now for a long time, and I always say like everyone just looks high or they are high. And Lily looks like she's high. She just looks like she's just floating and she's so fierce. And of course she's not. I'm not insinuating that she's high on the field, but it's this like California, like chill, like everything's like it's pretty amazing.
There's definitely a lack of panic or like overthinking or any just tension that you would probably see normally in someone who's 16 taking the field for their country's team. I think people would be right to feel a little bit of nerves in that situation, and she is really effortless about it. It's something that, let's say it was in June was her first cap. She was in Minnesota I was there. Like after the game, all of her teammates were like, yeah, she makes it look so easy. She has like a very grown up and like mature was a lot of what they were saying, of just like she plays like someone wise beyond her years. And I think that's really special. And to have her decide she wants to play for the US and
that was huge,
and commit to this group project that we have to win in 2027. I think it's really neat, and I am grateful that she's had the room and the space to just kind of be like taking her time and make that decision. And hopefully it's a process just with a lot of ease for her to work into the team, and it sounds like it is. I look forward to watching her thrive. I think we haven't really, we didn't get to see her at the Olympics, so like we haven't really gotten to see her thrive against those like top level folks yet. I mean, the Netherlands, that would have been a good one, but I don't think, did we see her against that?
She came in at the very end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. Because I was like, that is overwhelming. You don't choose the Netherlands and then you have to
and then you play against
the Netherlands. Yeah.
But she didn't start, but she did play.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that might have been that. It was either her first or second. It might have even been her first, because I just remember being like, "Oh my God, are you really throwing this kid to the wolves?" Like, that decision. First of all, just given how stacked the U.S. Women's National Team is and how hard it is to get on that team, let alone a camp, to choose that over the Netherlands, and she's already playing abroad. You figured that would be even an easier transition because she's already abroad. But that I was, first of all, thrilled, absolutely thrilled. But yeah, she's just fun. Like I'm really excited. Also, as we were saying before, the midfield has been kind of like a what, huh? So, seeing Heaps. Heaps to me, I can't say it. Haran to me is like, I love her forever, but like she seems, I just kind of feel like this is the last kind of, I just see like in another couple years, I don't see her starting in 2027,
I think she's someone that she'll like be a good soldier and do whatever you want her to do, but I don't know that she's really found like a home in the midfield. Like I feel like she's been moved around a lot and is just kind of trying to do the soccer good, but like when I see a player like Heaps, I, I would expect her to just kind of be more of like a bruiser on the ball, winning the ball back, like taking that kind of role. And it's like that's not really the role she's been doing. And it's like she's not really leading in like the playmaking aspect of it, or so I'm just like I'm not quite sure where she fits right now. I know she's like capable and she's a talented player, but
it's confusing.
I feel like a teacher at the front of a dance class. I want to see it, honey. Like, show me something.
I know. It's been so complicated because she's so great and she's like our captain. And I mean, just like national treasure. But the last couple years, I'm like, I don't, there's
like, what do you do here?
What do you do?
Has been the last few.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be interesting where I see like a coffee, where I go, oh, she's on it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like she's just,
I know her job.
Yeah, like she's just like everywhere and she's taking out people and here comes a yellow and she's got the shorts and I love. She's aggressive.
You got to have one.
Yeah. Just the shorts are tied and she's ready for action. She's ready for that yellow card. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. So the new blood in the midfield, I probably the most excited about. Also, all right, let's talk forwards. Macario back. So thrilled. Absolutely thrilled. It's always like, I shouldn't say because we struggled to score the World Cup. It seems like always our forwards on paper are an embarrassment of riches. Now that doesn't always pan out as we have seen, but going in with this list of forwards and not having triple espresso is insane.
Yeah.
Like that's what pops out to me the most. Really excited to see Ali Setner, Emma Sears. I've been a big, fan of Michelle Cooper. I don't know that well, so I'm very excited. And Yasmin Ryan, I got to know her like just through the playoffs for Gotham the last couple years, and I'm like, whoa, she's fun to watch. So I'm excited about this.
Yeah, she definitely is, and I'm always excited to see just like a young, talented player just get a chance to cook on the national level, like like seeing. Like Elle Stevens get called into camp was really cool. And the forward depth on this team has always been absurd. Like it's always been this like, well, if you're gonna take this person, who are you gonna cut? And I think that has just always been true of the forward pool. And I think it's good to work on that depth. We saw what happens when we didn't, when Mel Swanson went down.
That injury just had the ripple effect of that was kind of nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it really is. We are a dragon on a pile of gold when we have to make these roster decisions. I think it is so awesome that we finally have triple espresso and we have this group of players that are able to read each other and flow like that, because that is super important to just the success of a program. But the thing that can happen with that is the forwards are so good that they kind of mask some issues on the team, like
the midfield.
And so giving them this opportunity to rest, which is so important. I mean, Trinity Rodman is 22 years old.
I feel like she's 38. I feel like she's been around for so long, and
it's crazy to think of, but it's just like she's young. I want that back to be strong for as long as her career would like to go.
Yeah, I always look forward to it. It's like a fun February, like January, you're like, it's cold and rainy. And then you're like, NWSL hasn't started, it starts in March. So the She Believes, I feel like is just like such perfect timing in the soccer schedule, the year. You just get like so fired up. So yeah, can't wait. Everybody watch those games, obviously.